My name is David Harrison Greis. Welcome to the Greis Report, your unfiltered daily voice for truth. I'm going to start off by following up on a story that I've been following since the very beginning of it, which was just this past weekend. So, Marimar Martinez, 30, of Chicago, was shot by the CBP Gestapo and the ICE Gestapo in Chicago and taken to a hospital. She's now in custody. She is alive. She did survive. However, the official story released by the Department of Homeland Security and Customs and Border Patrol was that she was part of some Antifa-aligned organization, and I'll get into why that's not a thing later. But some allegedly Antifa-aligned association where she was ramming them with her car and boxing them in, and they felt really unsafe, so they shot at her because they feared for their life. Now, they did this with Silverio Villegas Gonzalez, but the difference with Marimar Martinez is that the CBP had a body cam. They forgot they had it, right? It was magically working that day, but it wasn't in the other case. So this is what happened, according to the body cam footage and according to the articles about it. Marimar Martinez was not ramming them. She was potentially following them to film their actions, which is what the people of Chicago have been tasked to do. That's what their responsibility is to each other and to their neighbors and community. Now, the problem here is that the Gestapo took this personally. They seemingly boxed her in, was screaming expletives like, do something, you B, and then shot at her, got out and shot at her, point blank. And this is what the body cam footage shows, according to the articles and to her lawyers. So if this is the case, that was a cold-blooded murder attempt, and they need to be held accountable. You need to start arresting the people who are aggressive, arresting ICE, arresting CBP. They must be held accountable for their crimes. So if you like what you're hearing tonight, please remember to like, subscribe, and down here we have an email address, thegreisreport@gmail.com. Again, that's thegreisreport@gmail.com. Please send us any tips, leads, story requests, your interactions with the ICE Gestapo, with Customs and Border Patrol, with the National Guard, because as of right now, there are Texas National Guard on the ground in Chicago, or they will be in the coming days. They've already touched down in Illinois, though, officially. And in order to help support us and support the work that we do, please hit that subscribe button, and please share this video with people that you think need to be informed about what's really going on, because the mainstream media is not telling you the full truth. So let's get on with tonight's show. I don't know about you, but watching Attorney General Pam Bondi at the Senate Judiciary hearing was a spectacle, to say the least. So one thing that I noticed throughout the entire session was that her and her MAGA cohorts decided to all phone it in on the propaganda really heavily and go hard on Antifa. So, like, there was this whole narrative about Antifa being spun, that Antifa is this radical left organization, and that, these Democrats in the Senate were helping support Antifa, as you'll hear in one of the sparring sessions that I'm going to be showing you. So number one, I want to show you a bit of a sparring session between the Senator Hirono of Hawaii and the actual Attorney General, if you want to call her that. More like propagandist general, but just watch.
My antitrust unit.
It's highly likely, Ms. Bondi, that the same lobbyists who met with your people basically got rid of the antitrust case.
Senator, I don't think a lot of people
I
like
would
that
say
you were
that
out
they're probably
protesting
meeting
with
you
Antifa.
right now. Next question.
Yeah. Screaming at the senator, calling her Antifa, saying that she protested with Antifa, therefore anything she says doesn't matter. That's the equivalent of going, la 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 la, I can't hear you, in the middle of the Senate. It's childish, to say the least. And one of the big things that I want to highlight here at the end to leave you with a little bit of comedy is her sparring session with Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island. So in the Senate hearing, she was being grilled by Senator Whitehouse about the Epstein files. Because we all know Attorney General Pam Bondi was like, yeah, they were on my desk. They exist, blah, 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 right? So he was like, did you see the photographs that were supposedly in the files and that all these witnesses claim to have seen? And she goes, and then dissembles into nothingness. She's sidestepping, dancing, dodging everything she possibly can, but telling the truth. So let's listen to that now.
Reid Hoffman. who was with Jeffrey Epstein on multiple occasions. And the senator sitting right next to you tried to block the flight logs from being released. Yet you're grilling me on President Trump and some photograph with Epstein? Come on.
The question is, did the FBI find those photographs that have been discussed publicly by a witness who claimed Jeffrey Epstein showed them to him? You don't know anything about that. Okay? Here's what we cut to some.
Funny, right? Very funny. One day, all of these people that helped support the suppression of the Epstein file release are going to be behind bars. Pam Bondi, Donald Trump, all of them. Because they're committing crimes against humanity in everything that they're doing. So thank you for watching tonight's show. This has been David Harrison Greis. Welcome to The Resistance, and have a great night, and release those Epstein files.